Today we're going to discuss the sixth talent of a coach-centric leader, engaging others. When you think about the term engaging, there are really 5 core attributes that describe an engaged leader. The first is to be approachable, and we're going to talk about that in detail. The second is confidently humble, showing humility, really engaging others. The third, having a belief in service. You've heard a lot about being a servant leader. We're going to talk about that as well. The fourth, focusing on a rapport and trust, and building trust in others in the organization. And last but not least is having a genuine interest in others. Being approachable really means people are willing and able to come up to you, to be in your presence, to want to connect with you. That means, of course, in the more traditional sense of having like an open door policy. And that people feel welcome when they come into your office, when they come into your space. Another great attribute, another great way to demonstrate this attribute is by walking around, getting out of your office, get from behind the computer, going out in the organization and touching and engaging and talking to the members of your organization about whatever happens to be on their mind. What a great way to connect with the organization, to make them feel as though they're important to you and that there is a caring heart that you have for them as an individual. So being approachable is an important attribute for an engaged leader, or to create engagement as a leader in your organization. The second is confidently humble. And I don't mean just exuding lots of humility, although that's an important attribute. What I'm talking about when I say confidently humble, all too often leaders manage or lead from the position of their title or the power in their position. What we're suggesting in this context is throw those away. They really have no value to you in terms of engaging your organization. We're talking about behaviors where leaders share information. They listen to others. They don't let the ego of the position and the title get in the way of them being just genuine about who they are every single day. You can still exude confidence when you're showing humility or being humble without being cocky. And that's an important attribute. How do you show confidence without appearing to be cocky? Leaders who engage know the difference between those two, know how to show up every single day, and give the organization a sense that they are indeed, as I said earlier, approachable, and they want to hear from others, they want to connect with others, they want to engage with others, and people know that. How do you know if people aren't that way? A, they don't come to you directly, they come to your direct reports, or when they are in your presence, you know they're telling you what you want to hear, or they appear to be real nervous. Those are signs that people don't feel as though there's a sense of true humility being shown, or there's a sense of being approachable being demonstrated. The way to accommodate that, the way to address those, is by openly showing a sense of humility, openly showing an aspect of being humble, openly engaging others in conversation, openly asking questions. They don't always have to do with the job. Sometimes it may be just a simple question about what happened over the weekend. Try it. You'll see it works. The third attribute of being an engaging leader is having a belief in service, or better said, being a servant leader. Being a leader who is inspirational, who's motivational, who understands how to use those two characteristics or competencies, as they're sometimes called, to get buy-in to the organization's strategy, vision, mission, key objectives, key tactics, and measurable outcomes. Leaders who have a heart to serve, to give, versus just getting all the time. The power of a servant leader is one that can completely transform an organization's character, can completely transform an organization's heart, as it were, to where people are passionate about the key things that will make that organization great. And that's the plan and strategy you put in place to drive success for the organization. Remember, inspirational, motivational leaders are servant leaders. The fourth attribute is focus on rapport and trust. There's an old adage that says people do business with those that they trust. It's no different in an organization. People will follow a leader who they trust, who they have a connection with, who they have a belief in. That's the power of having a good rapport with your organization, because through the rapport, you build trust. And we know no leader can lead without trust. The organization has to trust that your vision for the organization is where we should be going, and therefore where they want to go. How you connect with them in words and deeds from a rapport perspective builds trust. Be sensitive to those two issues. Make sure that you show yourself as being vulnerable, but yet confident. Those combinations of behaviors drive trust in an organization to know when your organization can see you just as they see themselves. So remember, rapport builds trust, another important characteristic or attribute of an engaged leader. Last but not least is a genuine interest in others. People want to know that they are valued and that they matter. They want to know that you as a leader have a genuine interest in them as a member of your organization, that you have a genuine interest in their career and their development, and that you have a genuine interest in them as a person. Simple as that. Although not always simple to do. Many of us have very large organizations. How can you do that on a one-on-one basis? In many cases, it becomes problematic, and you cannot. But whatever medium you use to connect with your organization, always present your genuine self. People can see through leaders who try to paste themselves as someone that they're not. Show up as who you are. Give your gifts to the organization. Let those gifts flow, and be absolutely genuine about that, and watch how your organization embraces you as a leader and embrace where you want to go. Remember, I've always said, the definition of great leadership is, if they take away your title, will they follow you? An engaged leader is how you are able to gain the support of your organization, to gain the trust of your organization, and the willingness to go where you want them to go.